Alright guys, we are presently staying at what is loosely identified as an RV park here in Belrose, Louisiana. It is called Craftsman Cove. This is basically a sister site to another RV park that is located about 4 miles up the highway that way, called Cane Row. From that park you travel down the highway this way, cross the median here, and straight in there. From the opposite direction, it's located right on the right side. The only sign for the park is right there on the wall that says Craftsman Cove. Coming from that direction from Cane Row, it wasn't too bad to find. I knew it was going to be up here on the left. But coming from this direction, it's very easy to miss because it's difficult to see that Craftsman's Cove, and there are no lights out here. There's a few lights up here, but if they were even on last night, they were very, very dim. You could barely see it. I'll tell the rest of that story in just a minute here, but keep in mind there is a community worship center right over there that I just happened to notice as we were leaving here yesterday to go on a little adventure, which I'm also going to tell you about. So entering the RV park, this is obviously an old parking lot for some kind of business. They made it out to be some kind of a resort, but it's actually a hole in the ground. You can tell over here that this used to be some kind of a, maybe a gas station or something, I'm not sure. But you can see tiles on the ground where that would have been the interior of some kind of business here. There are several RV sites around this area here, but it is really shady. There is full hookups, 50 amps, sewer, water. They do not offer nightly rates here. It's either weekly or monthly. A week is $150. And I can almost guarantee the reasoning for that is because once you get here and you see it, you want to leave immediately. The office for this location is also located all the way up at Cane Row. So you sign in up there, basically sight unseen. Now we could have come down and look at it first, but we're like, okay, let's take the chance. We're here for one reason, and that's to film another location here in Napoleonville and then get out of town. However, it was kind of shady, you know, to sign up there, pay your $150 and come down here and see what a hole this place is. In describing this place to us, the girl made it sound like some kind of a resort with a gym, a weight room, showers, laundry, all kinds of stuff. And there's just this one building here, which is unmarked except for the name of the park. You have to use a code to get in. So let me take you in here and show you what this is. Now, I will say this, it's very clean in here, but it is super grungy. So this in here is the laundry room. We're actually doing some laundry right now, and it is clean in here. It doesn't stink. They do not allow smoking inside this building here, thank God, because when I was at the other one, I went inside the casino and the little store there, the convenience store, and it reeked like an ashtray. It was absolutely disgusting. But in here, it actually smells pretty decent, to be honest with you. So let me just show you around here for a minute. Like I said, it is a clean area. They do have some games here, table hockey. Here is their workout fitness center, which, I mean, honestly is pretty nice. They have a couple vending machines here, a little sitting area. Here's a pool table. It's a nice little, like, man cave type setup here. This doesn't look too bad here. LSU Tigers, although there is a bottle of anti-monkey butt sitting here on the table. Okay. And you have to pay to play pool. I think it's $1 to play pool. And here's the sitting area. Nice couch, nice chair, but honestly, I wouldn't sit on them. They're very grungy, even though they look clean. And I know, $150 a week. I know. I guess you can get ice right here. Let's see. Oh, well, there's no ice in here, but if there were, you could get it for $1, and you put it in the drop box here. There are showers back here, which I'll show you. Here's a bathroom, and here's the shower. I'll use my own, thank you. Like I said, it is very clean in here. It's just very grungy as well. And yes, I get it, $150 for a week. What do you expect? But It's not been a good experience. There is an office right here where it appears you would check in, and maybe, you know, when it's busier out here, they have somebody else, but there's one girl that goes back and forth from here to the other place, and it's difficult to get a hold of her. When we pulled in at Cane Row to check in, there was nobody at that office right there. There was no number to call. I had to look up the number on the internet, which was fine. But when I called the number, there was no answer. I had to leave a message, and then we waited and waited and waited. I walked around the entire place, went over to the casino, to the store, found some guy and asked him if he knew how to get a hold of them, and he did not. It was really crazy. We waited for probably 20 minutes to a half an hour before somebody finally showed up and got us checked in. So we knew from the get-go that it was kind of shady, you know, it's just not comfortable from the get-go. And I will say, when you're in here and you see how decent it looks in here, you kind of second guess yourself and you're like, well, maybe it's okay, you know, maybe it's not so bad. Because look, I mean, this is a really nice fitness area here. This kind of stuff is not cheap, unless you buy it secondhand on Craigslist. Now, I think a lot of the residents over here right now, I think they're actually working in the area, and that's why they stay here, which I could see it working for that. Or if you were traveling through, you needed somewhere to stop, it's very cheap here, it would work for that. But it doesn't feel good here. It really feels uncomfortable. Like I said, it feels grungy. Just being parked in what is virtually an abandoned parking lot out there does not feel good. It's just kind of crazy. So let me get on to the rest of the story and why we were here. So as you guys know, we are YouTubers, and the thing that brought us to this area was the fact that the movie Because of Winn-Dixie was filmed in Napoleonville, which is about 5 minutes up the road from here. So I looked for a place that was close to that. Looking on Google Earth, looking at this area, at the other park, the Cane Row Park, it looked like a really nice place. You know, looked like a decent place. I didn't see anything that made me think it was a bad idea to come here. However, we went through what I just explained to you, and trying to get checked in here, and got set up. We took a run out to Napoleonville to kind of scout out the area and see what we were going to be filming, because I've spent about a week planning this out, researching all these filming locations from the movie. There is nothing online about it. I had to do all the research myself with Google Earth and watching the movie and picking out things in the background, you know, to find these locations. And I was so excited about it. I love that movie. The minute we pulled into Napoleonville, I was like, we're not getting out of the car. It was horrible. It absolutely crime-ridden. There's a population of under 600 there right now, and the police to population ratio is 1.5 to every 1,000 residents. So that means there's not even one cop for that whole town. It's crazy. There's maybe one business open in the entire town. Everything else is abandoned and falling apart. It's just absolutely crazy. Now, the one good thing about it is that the actual Winn-Dixie store that was in the movie, which is like the main thing that I wanted to see out here, is right down the road. It's not even in Napoleonville. It's in, I think, what's called Donaldsonville, if I'm not mistaken. And we are going to get to film that today. By the time you see this, you may have even seen my video of that store. I'm really excited about that, but I am not setting foot back in Napoleonville. Just absolutely horrible area. Now, let me tell you about what else happened there. After we drove around there, it was about 4:20 when we made a beeline through that town. We actually got to see all the filming sites in person, which was really cool. But we made a beeline through there. We got back on the main road, and we headed out to Gibson, Louisiana, which was where there are a few more filming locations. And I even asked Marion, you know, do we have time to do this? It's 20 after 4 right now. What time does the sun go down? She said 5:30. It was pushing it because it was a 25 to 30 minute drive to get out to where we were going. So against my better judgment, we did it. We drove out there, we got there, saw the stuff, headed back. We got back here just before dark. Well, as it was getting dark, had to stop and get oil because the car was starting to whine because I need my oil changed. It's been a little while. I shouldn't have let that go, but I did. We pull over at a store, get the oil, I put it in. I can't get the hood latched. For some reason, it won't close. After about 20 minutes, we finally got that down. Come back to, or head back to this campground, whatever you want to call it. And We passed it. We couldn't find it. The GPS is about 2 miles off. Took us somewhere totally different to a completely empty place and said you're at your location. So the address is totally wrong. We started driving around, put in the GPS location of Cane Row because I thought if I can get to Cane Row, then I can get back here because it's just a straight shot from that up here, turn left and you're in the parking lot. And then just to make a long story short, we found this place on the right side as we were on our way to Cane Row, which would have been on the left side, and we expected it to be the opposite way, but we kept our eyes open. We found that community center, and we saw this, but we passed it because you cannot see the drive. It's pitch black out there, and even with those lights, you couldn't see. I don't know if they weren't on or if they were just so dim, but you could not see the drive to get in. So drive probably 3 more miles up the highway looking for somewhere to turn around. These crazy drivers out here zipping around you, their lights in your eyes. It was absolutely nuts. No street lights, so you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see any drives to pull in until you were on top of them, which was then too late. Finally did get rid of all the traffic around me by slowing down and letting them pass, and I found a place, turned around, we came back, and we got safely in our RV. But we are ready to roll out today. So basically this was a very expensive lesson, $150 for one night, because we are getting out of here today. And it was a long drive, kind of backtracking from where we were at. We were in Brobridge, Louisiana, and we backtracked all the way over here, 2.5 hours, and we're on our way to Arizona. So now we have to take that same road, 2.5 hours back up to Brobridge on our way out that way. So just a horrible experience all around. And I mean, like I said, you know, if you have to work in this area for any reason, this would be a good place to be. Or if you just need a night somewhere, but it's going to cost you $150 because they don't have nightly rates. They only have weekly and monthly rates. I don't recommend it. I've seen reviews online that are good, but I don't know what they're comparing it to. I mean, if they're comparing it to hell, I don't know. But that was our experience here, and we will never come back here again.